Greetings, year 33 MFL members. This is your delayed video update for week 6, 2025. I will start at the top today because Hoopton Corn Jerkers got crushed. In fact, if you'll notice over here in the league chat, you had, which I'm not sure if I've seen this that much. I don't know if I've ever paid attention to it either, but I definitely noticed it this time since it was me. This week's best manager, which would be the West Canaan Coyotes, scored a 98% of a possible 166 points against the worst manager, and I'll wear that this time. I think I can take all of the poor awards this week for sure. I only got 56% of my lineup decisions correct, and I could have had 147 points. As it was, I only got about 83. That does mean that no matter what I did this week, I was pretty much doomed to get crushed. So West Canaan moves to 4-2. Hoopton is still in that playoff limbo there at 3-3. So if the playoffs were today, Hoopton would be in, but limping, needless to say. Leavenworth put it on Cleveland by just a small margin, less than a point, actually. That's a tough loss for Cleveland because I feel like they have caught some really bad breaks this year. But again, at 2-4, to me, once you're at 3-5, you're actually still on pace. 1-3 and then 2-2 in the first 8 weeks puts you at 3-5. So as long as you're at least capable of hitting that, you're good. You hit 3-6 and it starts to get a little dicey. So Cleveland is still alive, and by the way, I'll just spoiler alert: Cleveland is projected to crush Hoopton next week. So they might just get right back on the track there. But that moves Leavenworth to 3-3. So also in the playoff hunt. Another blowout. Big D, Kevin, pretty much puts it on Toledo, 162-99. Again, Toledo 2-4, not out of it. Once you hit that 6th or 7th loss, that's when it kind of starts to get a little tense for sure. But Big D is at 4-2. It's going to be hard to keep them, I think, out of the top half of the league. They'd have to kind of fall pretty flat. So looking pretty good there. The Army is also at 4-2, and they beat the Posse, who is at 4-2. So these are all of our contenders right here. That is for sure. Along with the Quake NATOs, who score 190 points against CDs, who, again, another team that just cannot seem to catch a break. At 1-5, I would say we're at that point where maybe for CDs the playoffs start now. Don't really want to hit that 6th loss for a while. You're trying to get to 3-5 so that you can get to 6-6 prior to making a run, and then go 4-0 and win the league. But CD is going to have to turn it around. If not next week, then maybe never. Maybe the way that works. And then we have another name change for Kansas City. They are now the Ash Chewers, and they're at 3-3, and they squeak by the Gray Squirrels, the defending champions, again 2-4. Probably still not out of it, but needs to find that signature win. That's for sure. So if you look at the standings, we have 5 teams at 4-2, which is kind of unusual. I don't know that we ever have had 5 teams at 4-2. And then if you'll look, we have 3 teams at 3-3. So if the playoffs were today, we would have an 8-team bracket. I still don't think that's the way it's going to turn out. I think a lot of things will shake out prior to week 14. That'll sort of tighten that up some. But as of now, we would have no bye weeks, and we would just have an 8-team bracket. So just be aware, it is possible. That being said, these last 4 teams here at 2-4, I would be shocked if I'd be shocked if 1 or 2 of those, frankly, didn't make the playoffs. I think they're probably in. I think Hoopton, frankly, my team is sort of just barely hanging on. We might kind of see that come to fruition. but I'll keep setting that lineup and keep making it work. That's for sure. So yeah, best manager, Wes Kanan. Worst manager, Hoopton. Biggest blowout actually was not. It's interesting that the best manager against the worst manager was not the worst blowout, but it was close. Oh no, actually it was. That's right. I keep forgetting I changed my I changed my avatar picture there. But yeah, biggest blowout was Wes Kanan and Hoopton. The narrowest victory, as I pointed out, was the Law Dogs over Cleveland. I feel like Cleveland's a little snake bit here. If they start catching some breaks, I think they're going to be in it. The highest score was Tulsa, who again has the kiss of death, wearing it proudly. And again, I think they're probably going to be fine. I get the little soft chocolate frozen yogurt emoji with the eyes. I am the worst scorer. Overachiever was Tulsa. Below expectation was me. It's pretty bad when you're the worst manager and your team also is the worst as far as projections. That's a pretty bad combination. Patrick Mahomes turning it on. I think he's probably going to be the Hall of Famer that we all think he's going to be this season. Bijan Robinson. There was some question about paying that guy that much money, and as it turns out, at least for this week, paid off. That's for sure. Notice Tulsa has Drake London, a player that I touted a little bit before the season started, and I think probably again gonna turn some heads before it's all said and done. Look at the rookie tight end Tyler Warren. I luckily in some leagues I do have him. At least one league I know I do, but I still have Colston Loveland more. That was probably a mistake. So just know that I'll probably be kicking myself over that for a while. Kicker defense, we don't need to talk about that. Notice the bench warmer of the week, by the way, and that would be on Kevin's bench, Jackson Dart. That might end up coming into play later due to injury, bye weeks, whatever. And DeAndre Swift, a player who I think I gave up on something like 4 years ago. And here they are still cranking out points. A wide receiver bench warmer, Malik Washington. I think there are some return yards involved in some of this, so just be aware of that. And or actually that might be another league. Yeah, never mind. But that's still a pretty good point total, especially without the return yards, that's for sure. Dallas Goedert, and then a kicker and a defense. So there's the name change. If you didn't see that, Connor's changing the name to the Kansas City Ass Chewers now. So we've gone from kickers to kissers to chewers. Sort of a little tongue twister limerick there of some kind, that's for sure. So, again, we're still pretty early in the season after 6 weeks. We've got 8 more weeks to go, so we're not even halfway through. What I would recommend, I need to take this advice as well. If you're feeling the grind, if you're feeling a little unlucky, you just keep setting that line up. You just keep doing the best you can, and it does tend to even out. There are those seasons where, man, you had the most points scored against you, and there was nothing you could do. But 8 seeds have won it before. I have been the 8th seed in another league, and I signed Cordell Stewart and ran through the playoffs and won. So it is doable. That is for sure. So just keep plugging away at it. And I'm really enjoying this. I've gotten some positive feedback on folks, listening to the videos and stuff. So I'll just keep doing them. I might also say at some point I'm going to probably do some other fantasy analysis videos, and maybe more so strategy videos for some Dynasty NBA. I've been getting into that a little bit. There's one of our league members here and I who started getting into some hockey this year. I'm only in one, so we'll see how that goes. But I'll give you my take on it. And maybe it's one of those things where if I put a 15-20 minute video out and sort of show people what I'm doing, maybe it'll kind of pique some interest. So I'm also, again, trying to, build up a YouTube channel here for some other purposes as well. There's some legacy and some posterity stuff I'd like to just kind of put on video, so you guys can just be a part of it as well if you would like. I think that covers it. I will be in town, by the way, the week before Thanksgiving. I can't figure out the dates yet because we never can get the dog sitting and the kid plans and the whatever else worked out. So we pretty much have to just sort of play it by ear almost until the last minute. But at some point before Thanksgiving, that week before Thanksgiving, I'll be in town for a while hanging out with my grandson and hanging out with family. And hopefully I'll get to see you guys too. Maybe we can, catch some Savastanos or something like that. All right. Until I see you guys again, everybody out there, stay safe.